Good morning, dear students. As you know, that this is your class 5th NCRT EVS book, and we are reading the chapter number 14, When the Earth Shook. And dear students, you know that we are reading a true story of a girl who faced the earthquake when she was 11 years old. So here, let's read. Help arrives. For some days after that, people from the cities kept coming to see what had happened. They came with food, medicines, and clothes. Everyone used to rush to take these things. The clothes that we got were very different. We had never worn such clothes before. So she's telling that after some days of the earthquake, there were so many people from the cities came, and they had food, medicines, and clothes for them, and there were so many people rushed to take these things. People from different groups from the city helped us to put up the tent. Staying in these plastic tent in the cold winter months was very difficult. She's telling that it was very cold winter, and we were we were under the plastic tent, but it was not enough for them because it was so much cold. Some of these people were scientists. They tried to find out which areas have more chances of having an earthquake. People from our village talked to them for many times. They had suggestions about buildings, our houses. Again, engineers and architects showed us some special design for houses. They said that with this design, houses would not get damaged much in an earthquake. But our people were a little afraid. They thought if these people built our houses, our village will not look like our old village. So the villagers thought they would build their own houses with their help. The group would build the village school. So the villagers thought the house, the engineers are the engineers have made the designs of the houses. The villagers were afraid that those houses would not look like our old village. That is why they decided to make their houses uh, own with themselves own, but they need the help of others. We all work together to rebuild our village. Some people dug and brought the clay from the pond. We mixed the clay with cow dung and made large cakes. We put these on one another to make the walls. We whitewashed the walls and decorate them with beautiful design and small pieces of mirror. We put up the thatched roof. Now our houses shine like a diamond in the dark night. Discuss. A lot of people from other places came to Jasma's village. Who were these people? In what ways would they have helped the villagers? So here I will read the question first. The question number 2, people in Jasma's village rebuild their houses with suggestion from the engineers. Will these houses be safe than before in case of there is an earthquake again? Why? Think if there were an earthquake, if you live, would your house be in danger? So the three questions that I have just read here, I will give you the answer of these questions. The answer of this question is up to you. What will you do to save pet animals during natural disaster? The answer of this question I will not give you. This is up to you. You write your own answer. Then compare your house with that of Jasma. List in your notebook what materials were used in making both the houses, Jasma's house and your house. Now the answer is here. A lot of people from other places to Jasma's village. Who were these people? In what ways would they have helped the villagers? So the answer is the people who came to Jasma's village for help. Water. They were people from the cities, scientists, architects and engineers, non-government and voluntary organization, some doctors, state ministers, and other political leaders. These people help the villagers in a number of ways, such as people from the cities with food, medicine, and clothes. They also have to put up the tent. The scientists try to find to keep them away from these places. The engineers and architects showed them some special design for houses that would not get much damage in an earthquake. The non-government voluntary organizations help the people by providing them food, clothes, tent to make huts, etc. Doctors and nurses provide them free first aid and treatment. The state ministers and other political leaders provided the people various basic things like food, grains, vegetables, compensatory money, and money, etc. Question number 2. People in Jasma's village rebuilt their houses with suggestion from the engineers. Will these houses be safer than before in case there is an earthquake again? Why? Yes, these houses would be comparatively safer than before in case there is an earthquake. This is because there are now prepared according these are now prepared to the suggestions and designs explained by the engineers. This is the answer of question number 3. Think if there were is an earthquake where you will live, would your house be a danger? What kind of damage could take place? If yes, if there is an earthquake where I live, my house would be in danger. The following damage could happen: the various household equipment such as TV, radio, utensils, eating number 2, if there would be a very severe earthquake, even the people would get crushed under the fallen houses and die. This is the answer of the question. Compare your houses with that of Jasma. So, this is the answer: Jasma's house and my house. It was made up of clay, cow dung, mirror, etc. And this is not very strong and can be break due to heavy rainstorms. And my house, it is made up of cement, brick, glass, steel, etc. It is very strong and can withstand all adverse climate conditions. So this was the answer of this question. Try to write down in your notebook carefully and cleanly and learn that. If you cannot go out of house, lie down under a strong thing like a table and hold on tightly so that it does not slip away. Wait until the shaking stop. So you are to say that if there is an earthquake, then first of all try to get out of the house and go in an open place. And if you cannot do it, then lie down under a strong thing like a table and hold it tightly. So there is a question: have you been told in your school or anywhere else about what to do in case of an earthquake? So you answer yes, we are told that we first of all, if there is an earthquake under a strong object, we should lie under the bed or we should sit under any strong table. Why do you think one should go under a table during an earthquake? So you can answer we should sit under a table because it is strong and it will not break easily. Who helped? Read this TV report on Bhuj earthquake. You are watching that there is no house. There is no house seen. No one is there. There is no house. There is no building after the earthquake. So let's read the TV report. Ahmedabad, January 26, 2001. At least 1,000 people are feared dead in the earthquake that struck Gujarat this morning. Many thousands have been injured. Army Jawan have been called to help. At least 150 buildings have fallen in the city of Ahmedabad. In these, there are a dozen multi-story buildings. By this evening, around 250 bodies have been removed from these buildings. It is feared that several thousand people may still be trapped. Rescue efforts are on. These are perhaps no there is perhaps no building in the city which has not developed cracks. The situation in Bhuj is even worse. People are running around in shock and panic. Within an hour of the earthquake, the fire engines had reached and started work along with the local people. Effort So here there is a report of the earthquake, and the report said that the 1,000 people were feared died in the earthquake and thousands have been injured. Thousands have been injured. 150 buildings were fallen in the city of Ahmedabad. The 250 bodies were removed from the building, but that were buried under the debris. But 1,000 people were still trapped. But till now, the rescue team was continuing their efforts. This was a very worst condition of the city, and it is said that the situation in Bhuj is even worse. People are running around in shock and panic. Within an hour the earthquake, the fire engine had reached and started work along with the local people. Offers to help are coming from corners of the country and abroad. Means many people from the country and from abroad help them. We will read about whose help will be needed while earthquake and how they help to us. So first of all, the military people help is needed. They help to rescue the people trapped in rubbles. Then the doctors and nurses, they provide medicines and the treatments. Then the scientists, they help to find out the areas where there are more chances of earthquake. Then the architects, they design earthquake proof houses. Then the government and non-government organization, they provide required help. So these were the people whose help will be needed, and in this way they do their work. Then here we will read about what should be done during an earthquake. So first of all, run outside of the building on an open ground. The second, stay away from glass, window, door, walls, furniture or anything that could fall and cause damage. Next, take shelter under a strong table or hold the legs of the table tightly until the shaking of the ground stops. So this was the cautions that the people should be should follow during an earthquake. Now here we will read what is the reason for earthquake. Here is written the tectonic plate. So in this part we will read about the tectonic plate. So dear students, you know that there is too much deep under the earth. Under the surface of our earth, the earth is divided into many plates. Means under the earth, too much deep under the earth is divided, the surface of the earth is divided into many plates, and we cannot see that from outside. It is called the tectonic plates, and when these plates move or collide, the earth also move, and then the earthquake comes. And you know the tectonic, what are the tectonic plates? You are watching these orange lines. You are watching these orange lines. These orange lines are passing through the countries, and you know that which country has this boundary of the tectonic plate, there are so many chances for the earthquake. And you know that this is our India, and there is a tectonic plate is also passing through the upper surface of our country, and that is why there is many chances of earthquake in Assam and Sikkim. And generally you know that 1 or 2 times in a year there is an earthquake. So dear students, it was the complete explanation of the chapter. In this chapter we discussed that the earthquake is a natural disaster, and how what is the reason of the earthquake, and how can we escape ourselves from the during earthquake. So try to listen and understand properly. Good day.